Hello, my friends. How's everyone doing today? It's another gorgeous day out here. And now that I'm in this transition phase of my life, and I'm having more time for myself for the time being anyway. I've been spending a lot of time out here, which is great because I love to be connected out here with all of this creation, spark of divinity, slice of God, whatever you want to call it. So, let's talk about the validation illusion. And the reason why I've been wanting to talk about this again for a while now because I I've been thinking about it, even though I've spoken about this before, but not the way I'm gonna talk about it now. So it's nice to get back to this subject, to be more clear about it, explain it better for those who may think they need an explanation or have a better grasp or understanding of how this whole thing works. But the reason why I'm making this video out here in this environment is for you to understand the analogy that I'm gonna make. So, none of these trees out here, none of the animals that are here, insects, any form of life, do you think that they worry about not having enough for the trees, for instance? Sunlight, water, for they continue to exist? Or the animals that are here, do you think that they worry about not being able to find enough food so they can live? Do you get what I'm saying? This whole idea of thinking that you need certain things, and that applies to pretty much anything, but you have to look at this from the perspective of, you know the way it is we come to this world perfect. The moment that we're born into it, we're absolutely perfect. I've talked about this before as well. We are pure light, we are pure love. When we're babies, that's exactly what we are. We just are. Just like all of this here, they just are. They don't need any form of validation of anything whatsoever. They are their own validation. And this is how we should see ourselves all the time. Because the moment you start looking for that type of thing outside of yourself, that's when you're making a mistake. That's when you're self sabotaging. That's when you're not understanding the whole process of life and how beautiful the universe works. You have everything within. You don't need anything outside of yourself that you may be thinking that you may need, that you may be wanting. If you understand that by just being, you have it all. I know it may be hard to understand for some. And I know that some people may be laughing at this and being like, yeah, right. But you see, when you're laughing at it and saying, yeah, right, you're already doubting the whole process and not believing it. And how do you think it's going to work? Look at the word human being. Human being. When we're born into this world, part of our spiritual birthright and our spiritual sovereignty is that we are meant to have everything that we need. You see all this abundance out here in this place that I'm at? This is how your life is supposed to be. If you understood that all you have to do is be yourself. That is all you have to do. You just have to be yourself. Not the mind construct. Not the avatar that everyone is conditioned to create to be something that they're not. Something that is an external thing. Something that is truly like a social construct of ideas. How to be, how to think, how to feel, all of these things. This is how we all give our power away. And this is how most people are being controlled without even knowing that. Whoever came up with this system, or group of people, or whoever, because it's been around for thousands of years, but they were really smart. They knew what they were doing. They understood how the whole game works. And to be honest, it only takes a few generations for something like that to be put in motion and then starting to work flawlessly. And then it's just once it's running, it's done, it's over. But we have reached a point now when it comes down to humanity as a whole where it's time to reclaim your power. Because you have all you need, you have all it takes. It's your birthright after all. None of us came over here to slave away our lives for a group of people or somebody else and remain in this perpetual state of, survival mode. Slavery, literally. For what? What are you gaining from it? We all have our gifts. Whatever we are spiritually attuned to. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you are spiritually attuned to, because this is something that only you will know. But there will come a point in your life where you're going to figure that out. When you start looking within. And when that moment comes, you will know. And that's what you have to follow. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to dive deep into. If you want to be free from the system, the very first thing you have to do is number one, be yourself. Be yourself. That's all you have to do. And you can look up some of my past videos. You can look up other people's videos to understand what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how you figure that out. But if you found this and you're still watching, that means you're at the right frequency to understand what I'm talking about. This isn't your first rodeo. Far from it. Now that I've had this time to spend with myself and being out here pretty much every day, weather allowing, of course, but you know, it's been really good. I've been here pretty much every single day now, and it's not raining at all. We had rain like one day, and it was barely anything, so it wasn't even really that wet over here. And ever since there's no rain, so I come in here every day to do my meditation, to spend time in nature. And this, to me, to be perfectly honest, it's been my second spiritual awakening at this point in my life, and things have changed so dramatically for me ever since I have done this detachment. I lift, you know, it's like I got all this weight off my system, of my whole being. Everything feels lighter now. Everything feels so much better. And you know, this is the type of stuff that it's so hard to explain for someone who hasn't been through it. You have to do this kind of thing yourself to understand the depth of it. I have so much more clarity now. Like in so many aspects of my life. And I love coming out here because this is how I can really truly feel myself and be myself to the fullest. So if you're having an issue, you know, with being yourself, finding yourself again, my biggest tip and recommendation is start spending time out in nature. Nature is the biggest healer. Now, that's not to say that you won't have to do some stuff yourself, right? Healing is not an autopilot, automatic thing. You're going to have to find out what is it that you have to work on, what is it that you have to purge, let go, release, all of these things that has been talked about over and over again by so many different people. But nature itself is the biggest healer. It's been for me. And I'm pretty sure it works like that across the board with just anybody. There is something primal about nature, Mother Earth. This harmony, balance, process of constant self-renewal, and it just transforming as I'm speaking here, all around me. And this is the whole process of life. And you know, just understand that anytime you're seeking for some sort of validation that is outside of yourself, that's not you. That's your mind construct. Because that's the only way it knows how to try and stay alive and survive. It's a self-defense mechanism. That's some deep stuff, but it's true. And once you understand that, you're really going to be going on the right path and doing so many things for yourself and changing so much. It's you're going to blow your mind away. And this is really all I wanted to talk about when it comes down to this whole, validation thing, and why it's an illusion. It's a construct of your own making because of all the conditioning that we've been, exposed to. But once you open your mind and you open your heart, reconnect with your soul, with what you truly are. This is something, it's hard to explain if you haven't been through it. But I know you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here this long. And this is how I'm gonna end this. I love you all. And understand that by loving yourself, this is all you really need. And everything else that needs to be in your life will just automatically come to you. And that is it. It's very simple. So, I will catch you all next time. Take care, my beautiful souls.